It starts well, the conversation flows, there's a tension, there's energy, and it feels like something is building. Then something changes. The replies slow down, the rhythm breaks, and the energy becomes uneven. And this is where it gets confusing because nothing actually ended, but nothing is really continuing either. One of the biggest shifts in dating happens when inconsistency stops being attractive. Because for a long time, it doesn't look like inconsistency, it looks like potential. A conversation starts, it feels easy, it flows, there is attention, there's energy, and for a moment, it feels like something is building. Then something changes. The replies slow down, the rhythm breaks, the energy becomes uneven. And this is where the mind steps in, trying to understand, trying to explain, trying to fix the gap. Maybe he's busy, maybe something is going on, maybe he's overwhelmed, maybe he saw the message and said, I'll reply later, and later never came. And the conversation becomes something strange, not quite present, not quite gone, just inconsistent. A message appears, then silence, then another message, then silence again. And every time it comes back, it almost feels like it's restarting, like nothing was interrupted, like the gap didn't happen. At first, this can feel confusing because there is still something there, just not enough to move anything forward. But that's the key, because inconsistency is not about absence, it's about lack of continuity. Something appears, but it doesn't sustain. And when something doesn't sustain, the mind tries to go back and repair it. It reviews the messages, the tone, the timing, trying to locate a mistake, trying to understand what changed. But sometimes nothing changed. What you are seeing is simply what was able to continue and what wasn't. And this is where the shift begins. When you stop asking, what does this mean? And start looking at what is actually happening. Because behavior does not hide itself, it repeats, and repetition creates a pattern, not once, not twice, but over time. And once the pattern becomes clear, something changes. The attraction begins to fade, not because you force it to fade, but because there's nothing stable to attach to. Because inconsistency cannot carry connection. It can create moments, but it cannot sustain them. And something else starts to become visible, the difference between what felt real in that moment and what was actually able to continue. And once you see that difference clearly, the need to explain it starts to disappear because explanation does not create continuation and something deeper replaces it. Clarity. You stop trying to fix the interaction. You stop trying to interpret the gaps. You simply observe what continues. And what continues is what carries the connection. And that is where attraction begins to change because consistency starts to feel different. Clear communication starts to feel different. Steady presence starts to feel different. Things that once felt ordinary start looking valuable. Someone replying normally, someone showing up, someone continuing. And suddenly that feels rare. And that is where peace begins, not because attraction disappears, but because attraction is no longer attached to interruption. Because what is real does not need to be reconstructed, it continues.